بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. وقال تعالى إن في ذلك لذكرى لمن كان له قلب أو ألقى السمع وهو شهيد. صدق الله العظيم. My dear respected brothers and sisters, firstly, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's lovely to come here in Newport to see you people, and I'm going to request my sisters on the sister side to please try and let every sister listen. We have got some noise coming from the background. People have come here to listen, so please respect them. Children who are here need to be with their parents. So if there's any children wandering around without their parents, I think the parents need to just look back, bring your children, to yourselves. It'll be a lot more comfortable for everyone to listen to. I'm not going to be speaking for very long here anyway. The topic is about changing my dead heart. Okay. Now, first and foremost, I have to say, my brothers, if you want to understand the dead heart, then you've got to first understand the physical dead heart before you come to the spiritual dead heart. Okay. So let's just say, for example, somebody is going to have a heart attack in let's say 2025 or something, right? So we've got from now till then to see the pathway of what led to his dead heart, physical dead heart. So if you look at the patient in 2025, the doctor will say, well, you haven't been keeping very healthy. You're walking about, you're running about, your exercise, all of that has been at a low. Your dietary system has not been very good, so you've been sort of, clogging yourself up, all right? I walked in here and mashallah, you've got loads of crisp packets and snacks and, sugary drinks and snacks, mashallah. And these kids are loving it, by the way, yeah? They don't know what's going to happen to them. Their favorite food, by the way, is chicken and chips. Yeah, that's their favorite food. They don't know they're going to die early from it, but that's chicken and chips, that's their food. Now, by the time it's 2025, the doctor has said, look, you clogged yourself up. Your arteries one by one have been clogged up because you've had fatty foods, you've had oily foods, you've had high cholesterol, you've clogged them up with X, Y, and Z, sugary foods, whatever it is. And this is where you are. You've got 3 arteries that are blocked. You're lucky to survive. And we're going to just pump you, up with whatever, medication it is, and we're going to have an operation, bypass, whatever it is. And this now patient, what he needs to do is he needs to now keep living. Now, for him to live, what he has to do is he has to change his life, right? First is he's got to sit in 2025. Let's just say he had a heart attack, and why I started from now till 2025 is you've got to understand that from now till then, he's not been living a very healthy life, and eventually he has a clog. And once he starts clotting inside there, then he's got to now change his lifestyle. So the doctor will say to him, you've got to stop eating these type of foods. You've got to start walking more. You've got to have half an hour exercise every day, or have fast walking every day. There's going to be a number of things the doctor's going to say to him. Right? You've got to stop eating your kebabs, stop eating your biryanis, stop eating your pulaus and everything else that's been clogging you up for the last 20 years or 30 years. All right? You need to start living like, a person who's gonna try and live on this earth for another 20 years. Okay? To do that, he has to change everything. Right? Everything. Even down to the fact that when he has delicious cake, there's nothing wrong with cake. If he has too much of it might have another effect on him. Now, the same thing happens Islamically, my friends. Okay, a lot of people don't see this. For example, let me give you a quick example right now. Someone sitting here right now has probably got an illness that we don't see on the surface of it. So let's say, for example, if somebody sitting here has got bipolar, Alright, bipolar. Bipolar is one of those things where, you know, they're going to have, the brain activity is going to be very fast at certain times and very slow at other times, okay? And the attention span is going to be very high sometimes and very low other times, okay? They can end up saying to you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and they're going to be very much like, yes, I'm really going to do it, and suddenly, the mania goes down, and what happens is they're going to say, no, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to. They're going to be as strong as they were to say that they're going to do it, they're going to meet you, the deal's going to happen. As strongly as that, when their mania goes down, they're going to say no. Now that is an illness they have, which mean you can't see. Alright, mean you can't see this. It's in their head. Somebody sitting in this crowd could have bipolar, but none of us will know who that person is. Why? Because bipolar people don't walk around with a bandage. Okay, bipolar, easy my friend, I'm sure everybody can hear me, what's going on, yeah? Yeah, please. I think we were doing fine before that, right? Yeah. Unless they want me to start singing or something, they're putting the echo on as well, right? Bipolar people have got something that is internal, you can't see it, I can't see it, unless you find out from the person themselves or from some of the habits, then you find out. Oh my God, this person's been affected by this, okay? And it can get more and more serious, but the problem is they don't walk around with a bandage. If you see a person coming in this masjid here and they're walking on crutches, then straight away you're going to say, brother, what's wrong with you? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. What happened to you? You say, oh no, it was football injury. You know, a lot of our brothers, they love football, yeah? They love football, don't they? Listen to my advice here about football. Football in your teens, when you're young, is life. What is it? Guys, just talk to me, what I'm talking to you. Yeah? Football when you're in your teens, and you're playing football, what is it? It's life. For boys, especially for boys. Football in your 20s is a leisure. What is it? Leisure. Good. And football in your 30s is injury. Okay? That's what it is. And football in your 40s is hospital. You understand? And football in your 50s is qabr. You're on your way to death. Okay? So there's a lifetime for everything, but you've got to learn how to stop and how to start when you do certain things. So my point to you is that if a brother walks in here with some crutches, and we say to him, brother, what's wrong with you? And he says, oh, it was a football injury. We've seen that. We know that he's, we'll say, brother, sit down here. Shall I bring you a chair, whatever? We'll give him some space. But if a brother walks in here and he's got bipolar, none of us would know that he's got it. The same way, my friends, a lot of people who we see right now, okay? We see right now, mashallah, they look healthy. What do they look like? They look healthy, mashallah. You look at the brothers, they look healthy. That's why they're all, against the wall, like they're leaning against the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, no offense, yeah. If you've got a back pain, no offense, yeah. But if you didn't have a back pain, you just want to lean there, then, issue. You see them, they're healthy, mashallah. But a lot of people sitting here have got internal spiritual weaknesses. Some people have walked in today, and they've been heavily, their heart, the spiritual heart, is heavily affected by sin. It's affected by sins. It's clogged up inside there. And they've got, they've been very unhealthy Islamically for the last 7 years, for the last 10 years, for the last 20 years. They've been unhealthy Islamically. So what are the things they did? Like, 2025, the guy goes to the doctor says, look, these are your problems. You've been overeating, eating the wrong foods, no exercise, none of this, and slowly, gradually, you ended up having a heart attack. All right? If you were to go to a spiritual person and he was to analyze you, he'd probably say to you, you're clogged up inside. You're having a spiritual heart attack and you don't even know it. And you know what that means? For the last 10 years, the brother, he's been missing his prayers, or he's been praying on and off. For the last 10 years, he's been in the wrong social company. Friends that are taking him away from Islam. For the last 10 years, he's ended up listening to, music when he wants. He's watching whatever he wants on his smartphone, wherever he wants to go, roam around, he's been doing that. Okay? For the last 10 years, You know, ghiba, backbite has never been an issue. Lying now again, never been an issue. All right? Going out there and, you know, having banter and putting people down and being cruel to them in social gatherings, never been a problem to him. Okay? For the last 10 years, the brother has been, you know, seeing this sister, this person, that person. There's been no issue with him, okay? For the last 10 years, his eyes been seeing whatever he wants to, his ears have been listening to whatever he wants to, and his tongue has been speaking about whatever he wants to. My brother, if you like that and you're sitting here, then you've got a spiritual heart that is dead, almost dead. You're having a heart attack and you don't even realize it. And that's the problem. The people that walked in here who look healthy to us, we think they're healthy. But a lot of people are going through spiritually unhealthy situations and they don't even know it. Or they do know it, but other people can't see it. This is the problem. Other people can't see it. And my friend, if you feel, well, how do you know you've got a clogged up heart? It's very clear. The Quran has told us how you know you've got a clogged up heart. If you've got a free heart spiritually, then there's a certain sensation you will get. And if you've got a spiritual clogged up heart, you're going to have a different sensation. Or different sort of reaction rather. Okay, so for example, the Quran has said, وَإِذَا سَمِعُوا مَا أُنزِلَ إِلَى الرَّسُولِ تَرَى أَعْيُنَهُمْ تَفِيضُ مِنَ الدَّمْعِ. When they listen to the Quran, you see tears coming down, flowing down from their eyes. Why? These are not Muslims Allah talked about. These are even Christians in the Prophet ﷺ's time Allah was talking about. Why? ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ. Allah said this is because, and in the ayah before it, this is the beginning of the 7th juz, you'll see it at the end of the 6th juz, the wonderful thing Allah Azza wa Jalla said. وَأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ. Allah said that they're not arrogant people. Arrogance clogs your heart up. Pride clogs your heart up. Jealousy will clog it up, right? Looking at whatever you want to, haram, halal, will clog it up. Especially when the haram goes in, it will clog it up. If you listen to haram, it will clog it up. If you talk about haram and you don't care, it will clog it up. There's a spiritual connection inside. And Allah has said those people who are not arrogant, when they hear the Quran, they will have tears running down their eyes. Allah Azza wa Jalla, look at what He said in Surah Anfal, when He opened Surah Anfal. إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم. The believers, when they hear about Allah, their hearts start to tremble. وإذا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا. And when the verses of the Quran are recited and that goes into their ears, their iman increases. وَعَلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. And on their Lord they will depend. That's a person who hasn't got a clogged up heart. What's a person who hasn't got a clogged up heart? Allah has explained it in the Holy Quran. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَذِكْرَى لِمَنْ كَانَ لَهُ قَلْبٌ أَوْ أَلْقَى السَّمْعَ وَهُوَ شَهِيدٌ. In this Quran I've given a remembrance for that person who will listen to the Quran, who has a heart, an open heart. Okay, who has a heart. أَوْ أَلْقَى السَّمْعَ وَهُوَ شَهِيدٌ. If you listen to the Quran and if you have your mind present, then the Quran should affect you. There are certain people who the Quran doesn't affect. And there are certain people who the Quran affects in a good way. Alright? When the ayats of the Quran came down, certain people, their hatred of the Quran went up. And when certain people, when the ayats of the Quran came down, the love of the Quran went up. Okay? So what did the Quran say? وَإِذَا أُنزِلَتْ سُورَةٌ فَمِنْهُمْ. Allah says when the Holy Quran was being revealed, there are certain people amongst them. فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ زَيْغٌ. They have a wretchedness and a crookedness in their heart. فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ. They have a illness in their heart. فَزَادَهُمُ اللَّهُ مَرَضًا. And Allah increases the illness in their heart. And when the Quran comes down and the believers listen to it, what happens? They say, oh, Allah has said the truth. When the Quran comes down, the believers listen to it, they are attached to it. They want to listen to it. They want to be with it. Now my friends, let's take an assessment. We have got now an ummah that, subhanAllah, a day will never go by. I want you to think about this, okay? A day will never go by without opening a certain book few times a day. When I say a few times, it's uncountable. And you can't count how many times they're going to open it. I've called it a book. Okay? But it has another name. I said a book because I want you to think of it a certain way, then I'm going to tell you something else. What book is that, brothers? Facebook. And there's another one. Facebook sister. WhatsApp. Facebook's auntie. Instagram. Facebook dada. Granddad. Twitter. Okay? Facebook putter. Son. Snapchat. You know, they've got all this family. There's a family of social people, social media here. Okay? Now, I'm telling you this. This sister said to me the other day, she said she's got problems with, sleeping at night. She's got probably some jinn problems and other things, okay? And since she sought some help from me, and she's even been to ruqya and so on, it's not been fully treated. So I asked her a question. I said, how much Quran do you read a day? And she said, Shaykh, if I be honest with you, I read about 3 to 4 pages a day, which is good for a lot of people, all right? 3 to 4 pages a day. I said to her, could you not increase that? Could you not increase your tilawah of the Quran every day? She said, oh Shaykh, it's really hard, with all the things that I've got and so on. I've got work. I said, that's fine, I know you got work. I said, when I come back from work, then I've got to look after my parents as well. I said, that's no problem. You can look after your parents. But I said, could you not increase your tilawah of the Quran? And she said to me, no Shaykh, it's 3 to 4 pages, And I said, listen to me. I said, you never have a day without looking at WhatsApp plenty full of time, 20 times a day, every single day, and you've made that intention. If you make the same intention with the Quran, there's not going to be no day without me reading this much of the Quran. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, that day will never go by without you reading that much of the Quran. If you say that I'm going to do my dhikr, because this is another problem. You tell people to do dhikr, because the only way you're going to declog your heart is going to be through dhikr, through dhikr of Allah. There is no other way of, unclogging this heart. There's no other way you can do it. Just like if that man who went to the hospital looks at the doctor and the doctor says, okay, there's a couple of things we can do. Either we have a bypass right now, or we're going to put certain liquids in your body to burn the fat inside your heart, or we're going to put, one of these, I don't know, these pipes or whatever inside, and we're going to just basically do one of those, I don't know, the things they do, I don't know what it's called, I'm not a doctor by the way, yeah? And they're going to basically take all the fat out of the arteries, okay? Whichever way it is, you've got to go to a hospital for that. You can't sort of do it on your own, okay? You can't just sit there and say, nah, I'm gonna, do my own procedure. How are you going to save yourself from a heart attack? Oh, I'm just gonna listen to my auntie. But that's not going to happen, brother. That's not going to work. If you've got 3 things that are blocked up, you better seriously do something about it. And the other way is, if you've got a spiritually heart that is clogged up, the only way is the dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal. No dhikr, it's not going to happen. Because our Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, he said, لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ every single thing, he said, has a detergent. Every single thing has a detergent. Alright, there's different detergents for different things. If you want to wash your car, you have to use the right detergent to wash your car. You can't use bleach. If you're going to wash your car, are you going to use bleach to wash your car? Guys, you don't understand what I'm trying to say. Are you going to use bleach to wash your car? No. You're not going to use bleach to wash your car, and you're not going to wash the toilet with, soap or something. Right? You have bleach over there to wash that, domestos or whatever over there. You have to have the right detergent for the right thing, otherwise you're going to spoil it. He said, siqalatul qalb. He said, your heart, the things that you need to declog your heart. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, dhikrullah, it is the remembrance of Allah. Without that, you can't spiritually cleanse your heart. And when you tell people to do dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal, you know what they say to you? They say, I haven't got time. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, this is a big crime that we're making. People look at their social media today without count. There's no count. How many minutes? How many times they look at that? But when you tell them to do dhikr, when you tell them to recite the Quran, when you tell them to do something spiritually, they haven't got time for it. And let me tell you where their big danger is. La ilaha illallah. Let me tell you what the big danger is. I was on a train from UP to I think it was Bombay or something, alright? I was on a train with my Shaykh, okay, my Shaykh from Bangladesh, Mufti Farooq Baruni. May Allah Azza wa Jalla give him a healthy and long life. Say Ameen. And we had a 4-hour discussion, right? We're in a nice carriage, we're coming all the way down, 4-hour discussion. And in that, he mentioned something, I want to share it with you. And it's a very deep thing he mentioned, right? Because I said to him, I said, Shaykh, look, I said, over there, a lot of people are raising a lot of funds for masjid. If you raise for masjid funds, everybody wants to give straight away. If you raise funds for emergency aid, people will give you immediately, right? But I said, if you try and raise funds for education, I said, hardly any people want to give. About 10% of those people will want to give. I said, what can we do to try and make the people donate more towards education? So he went silent for a bit and then he said something. He said, go back and tell the people this. He said, tell them that if a person in a third world country is starving and they die because of starvation, a person because of malnutrition dies in a third world country where they didn't have food or they didn't have sanitation or they didn't have water and they died, but they died with Iman, they will go straight to Jannah. Okay? But he said, if a person in the developed world, in the UK, in the US, in Canada, in Europe, if a person dies with a full stomach, but they die without Iman, or they die with something in there that they're not supposed to have in their heart, then that person could go to Jahannam. So that changes our perception. I want you to realize this, that changes our perception. In fact, the Shaykh said this. He said, for example, let me give you an example. If somebody dies right now and they never did their Hajj, if somebody dies right now and they never did their Hajj, what do we normally do? We do Hajj Badr, which means that somebody in their family will go to Hajj on their behalf, or somebody else will go on the Hajj on their behalf. Somebody who died who never gave zakat, what do we normally do? We give some zakat from his wealth, and we take it out from his wealth and we distribute it. Okay, so that's its compensation. Even though he's dead, La ilaha illallah, Allah's kept a path for it. Okay, somebody who hasn't fasted, we normally give sadaqah, fidya, whatever we can give in return of that, hoping that Allah will accept it. But if somebody dies and they died with a disease of the heart, let's say they died with the disease of the love of wanting to get more and more of this world, okay, hubbud dunya, the love of this world is a disease of the heart. Then that person, we wouldn't even know they had the disease of the heart, and second, you have got no compensation for it. You can't give anything in return to save that person from the akhirah. If somebody died with the disease in their heart, okay, of the love of money or the love of women, see, these are the things that make people go crazy. Some people that go crazy because of love of money. They've got a big thing, inside them. Like, you see some people, they've got a love of sugar. Guys, are you understanding what I'm trying to say or not? Or have I lost you somewhere? Hello, guys? Can you speak to me? Have you seen people who have a love of sugar? Like, look, see these biscuits here? Some people, you leave this whole thing in front of them, this whole biscuits, halwa, baklava, whatever, you leave it in front of them, yeah? Ferrero Rocher, whatever, all these chocolates, Twix, whatever it is, yeah? The celebrations, you have it all in front of them. They'll hardly have one or two. Some other people, they sit there, they go, one after the other. Some people, they have got no sabr. They take two biscuits together, put in cheek. So, brother, have sabr, man. Come on, it's your risk, yeah? Take it easy, yeah? Some people, they just can't get enough. You give them chocolate cake right down the stomach. You give them a sponge cake, gone down there as well. Yeah, I'd like to invent for them a brick cake. Yeah, see if they can take that inside as well. Honestly, the sugar level they have, there's no control. Same way, some people got no control over the love of money. When they hear money, when they smell money, my man, the guy smell money, yeah? He don't care, halal, haram, he don't care. Seriously, they don't care. Halal ho, haram ho, khokota na khaye khai dono. They want to mix it and eat it. La hawla wa la quwwata illa. Honestly, I'm telling you, they have no sabr. Like, you know, some of these schemes that will come out, right? They don't care who said halal, haram. They just want to invest and make money, invest and make money, invest and make money, right? They don't care who they, you know, whose feet they tread on. They want to just make the money. There are some people, haram businesses, they don't care. The money's gonna come, all right? I'll do my tawbah later on. I don't care. It's really enjoyable right now. My friend, doing that kind of thing is like a credit card. You know credit card? You guys know what a credit card is, yeah? Come on guys, speak to me please. Yes, good, yeah. I just say that because if you speak to me, then I know you're awake. You know credit card, if you use a credit card or a debit card, there's a difference. Debit card is that I've got the money already there. So when I swipe that debit card, I know how much I've got, and from there money has gone. But credit card is buy now, pay later. You understand? You buy now, you pay later. Now that's the problem with sinning. If you sin, then what you've done is you are saying, I don't care. I've got the love of money. I'm going to do it right now. I don't care. But you buy now and you pay later in the akhirah. That's a big pay to do. Some other people, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, they've got no control when it comes to, you know, for men, women, they've got no control. Or for women, it's men, they've got no control. They've got a big thing in there, you know, like if a woman comes in front of him, if the guy, he just becomes all like jelly. He doesn't know how to control himself. He's like, you know, whatever, you know, I just want to get up. Some people have that. It's a disease of the heart. Some people, you put them with a Wi-Fi, right, and they will sin. I don't understand these guys, you know. So, you know, subhanallah, everybody is married to Wi-Fi, but not everybody is married to wife. You know, I'm talking about brothers, yeah? These brothers, young brothers, black beards, they don't want to get married. They don't want wife, but they cannot live without Wi-Fi. They must have Wi-Fi. She's with him all the time. All the time. But wife, no, delay. Till 27, 28, 29, okay? He's delaying. His mom and dad are saying, hey, which day are you going to get married? Hey, I'm going to do it in a bit, yeah? And they're finding him bride after bride. They did this from him when he was 21 or from 22. When he was 22, they showed him some. He said, no, because, you know, he doesn't want to know her. He doesn't want to know her. She's beautiful, she's good looking, she's got religion, she's got everything. He says, no. And his dad can't understand why. And this guy knows why. Because he's not going to say yes to her because, you know, he's basically, you know, Rachel. You know what I'm talking about? Hogu. Text my dad. He can't get his mind off there. So basically he gets to 29, he gets to 30, and then he thinks to himself, now, you know what, let me settle this down. Oh, Dad, I want to get married. Okay? Who wants to take you now, Mr. Boldy? Who wants to take you now? Huh? You're 30, you're 32, you're 33, now it's difficult. Your time came, inshallah, don't worry about it. We'll get the adhan done, sunnah done, everything done. Yeah. Whoever hasn't got wudu, you can start making your wudu, inshallah. We'll have the adhan start. We'll start jama'ah. Now, jama'ah, what happens is, you know, you have these youngsters, they don't understand. They don't understand. If you've got the love of women in your heart, or love of men for the women, I'm saying this, in your heart, you've got a disease in your heart, you better control it. The only way to control it is you have halal wife, no problem. You have haram relationship, you kill yourself off. Now listen to this next thing. Listen to the next thing. Some people in their heart, they've got love of wanting to live in this world for a long time. Now this is a disease of the heart. A lot of people don't know this. You know, like, I know everybody wants to live. I'm not asking you guys, you know, tonight you all die, yeah? Okay? I'm not asking for a big suicide mission in Newport. You know, they're going to have the news. Imam came to Newport, yeah? Next day, Monday morning, there are 30 suicides. What's his masjid called? Central Jama Mosque. They have 30 suicide. I'm not asking you to commit suicide, brothers. Yeah, what I'm asking you to do is reflect on this. You know, if you plan for this world to live here for a long time, no problem, mashallah. May Allah bless you with your life. Say Ameen. But if you want to live long, but you don't want to meet Allah, you have a serious problem. This is a disease of the heart. Allah talked about it in the Holy Quran. If you're a believer sitting here, and if I said to you, look, do you want to meet Allah? And if you say, nah, never. If I said, do you want to meet Allah? Jinnah, please. I said, why don't you want to meet Allah? For inshallah. Because you're not prepared. Your tawbah is not updated. Your salah is not updated. You haven't been living the life of the akhirah. You haven't been living the life that you can face Allah. That's a serious problem. You got to wake up, my friend. You got a disease in your heart. You're clogged up. You don't even realize it. And you think that everything's okay. Because you're going to live on this earth. And if nobody ever looks after you, then your friend, Mr. Kholamia, he's going to look after you. Whatever his name is, right? He's going to look after you. Your Tipu Mia, your this Mia, you that, all these friends, whatever, they're going to look after you. And you think that's life? You think that's life? You're going to hit the stone one day, my friend. You're going to hit the crack. You're going to hit the ground one day. Let me tell you this. If you have a heart where you want a long life and you don't want to meet Allah, then you're in serious trouble. Why? Allah said, أَلَمْ يَأْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ وَمَا نَزَلَ مِنَ الْحَقِّ وَلَا يَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِن قَبْلُ فَطَالَ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَمَدُ فَقَسَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ وَكَثِيرٌ مِّنْهُمْ فَاسِقُونَ أَلَمْ يَأْنِ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا Has not the time come for the believers أَن تَخْشَعَ قُلُوبُهُمْ لِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ That their hearts should become humble towards the remembrance of Allah وَمَا نَزَلَ مِنَ الْحَقِّ That their hearts should become inclined towards the ayats and the verses that are revealed to the Quran, in the Quran وَلَا يَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ Hasn't the time come for the believers to realize that you shouldn't become like the people who were before you, who were given the book? فَطَالَ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَمَدُ فَقَسَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ Life became something that was long ahead of them, and their hearts became hard. They wanted to live long. Their hearts became hard. وَكَثِيرٌ مِّنْهُمْ فَاسِقُونَ And many of them started to sin. See, if you think that you're not dying right now, if you think you never die tomorrow, next week, next month, year, 10 years time, 20 years time, at the same time, you're not doing the dhikr of Allah, you're in serious trouble, my friend. Because your heart is attached to this dunya. Your heart wants that long life. Allah said, يَوَدُّ أَحَدُهُمْ لَوْ يُعَمَّرُ أَلْفَ سَنَةٍ One of them wants to stay on this earth for 1,000 years. وَمَا هُوَ بِمُزَحْزِحِهِ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ أَن يُعَمَّرْ But even if he stays here for 1,000 years, then he will not be able to stay away from Jahannam and the punishment when he goes to the next life. My friend, what's the whole point? When you're on this earth and you want to have a long life without Allah, then one day you come to Allah and that's your worst nightmare. If you live on this earth and you want to live long, but at the same time you know who your Allah is, then it's the best day when you die on this earth. This is the difference, okay? A believer is prepared for death anytime. Anytime a believer is prepared. Whenever a Malakul Maut comes, I'm ready. I've done all my salahs, they're intact. I've done my ibadah, my worship, it's intact. I've done my Quran tilawah, I've tried to change my akhlaq, my good character. I've tried to be good to people, I've tried to be good to Allah. I try to be good on this earth so that I can get a good life in the next world. My friend, everything's prepared for you. The day you die, that's going to be the best day of your life. Inshallah. But if you lead a life where the love of money, the love of women, the love of space, love, subhanallah, people are killing each other for a bit of land. Bit of land. You've heard, if you don't know what I'm talking about, then just go back to Bangladesh. You know what I'm trying to say? Bafelo iso aurlunchu. The dad basically bought out acres and acres and acres of land. All right? You know, this is talking to your granddad or your dad. All right? And same thing in Pakistan. If you're Pakistani, same thing I'm going to say to you as well. This was what happened. They came to this country and they bought loads of land over there. And then what happens is, one day, his own nephew, one day moves into his house, yeah, and lives in his house as if it's his house. So the day your dad goes back there, your cousin, who's his nephew, says, Afne khair. Now who are you? This is my house. And then they start to change the dalil. You know dalil? Yeah, they start to change all of that, fake dalil, whatever, to buy the land, to take the land away from you. If you know of a person from Bangladesh or Pakistan who's involved in this, where their land was taken over by someone, or tried to take it over by someone, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Go on, put your hands up. If you know somebody, come on guys, put your hands up. You're trying to say Newport or Ramdar Dori. I'm done with them. Yeah? Everywhere, my friend, everywhere, same thing. Now let me tell you this. They're dying for a piece of land. And they don't understand. You're dying for some mati. You're dying for some soil. And that is the very soil you're going to be buried inside. La ilaha illallah. You're dying for the soil, and in that soil, 6 foot down, one day you're going to be crying. And on the day of judgment, the hadith of Muslim says what? Whosoever, man akhadha qayda shibrin, whoever has taken one span worth of land from somebody else, then that piece of land will be tied to his neck on the day of judgment, and then he will be taken from in front of all the people on the day of judgment, 7 heavens above. And Allah will drop him from there back onto the land of Qiyamah, because he took a span worth of land. When I was doing my fence, 2010, I'm going to tell you this because I want brothers to understand this. This is serious. When I did my fence, my garden fence, my builder said to me, they said, your old house occupiers who are here, they moved the fence, right? They moved the fence 1/2 meter into the garden of the neighbor. So I ended up with more land. I said, my friend, quickly put it back to what it was. When you build a new fence, make sure that the 1/2 meter comes back, right, to the owner, and it goes away from me. And he did that. And I said, why? Because I'm not coming on the day of judgment with anybody's land dispute on the day of judgment. Right? Now, I've got about 5 minutes, and then we'll carry on after Asr if you want me to carry on. 10 minutes, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. What I want to say to you, brothers, is hubbul jah, having the love of land. Hubbul nisa, love of women. Or for the women, love of men. Hubbul mal, love of wealth. These are disease of the heart. Hubbul dunya, love of the world, disease of the heart. If you're a person who is actually earning money for your family, alhamdulillah, may Allah put barakah in it. If it's halal, say ameen. You will get reward for going out of your house, working there, coming every day, working, end of the month, you get a paycheck. That paycheck is reward. 30 days you work there, it's reward, reward, reward. Because you're following the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, which is to try and earn your livelihood. Earning livelihood is sunnah, it's rewarding. But loving the world is a disease of the heart, and it will end people in a lot of crisis. Now my friends, what I was saying to you earlier is all of these are diseases of the heart. And the only way to declog the heart is through the dhikr of Allah. So in this last 10 minutes, before we break up for the Asr Adhan, I want to get you to understand what dhikr is. Dhikr is of 3 forms. Okay, dhikr has 3 forms. One is dhikr of the tongue, but not of the mind. So the tongue is saying Subhanallah, and the mind is thinking of the washing machine. Do you understand, brothers? The tongue is saying La ilaha illallah, and the mind is saying, woo, what a goal. Yeah? That's dhikr of the lowest nature. You get reward for moving your tongue, but you get no cleanliness of the heart. Your heart will not get declogged. The dhikr above this is when the mind is present, thinking of Allah, but the tongue is not moving. Okay? The mind is present, but the tongue is not moving. For example, I'm behind the Imam. Imam is silent, I'm silent. Okay? He's reading Surah Fatiha, I'm silent. But my mind is present with Allah. My tongue is not moving. Or let's say, for example, I finish my tahiyyah. and the Imam is still finishing tahiyyah. My mind is present, but my tongue is unmoving. I get a lot of reward, and I get cleanliness of the heart as well. And the highest dhikr is when the tongue is moving and the mind is present. Whether it's me reading the Quran, in salah, with tasbih, doing dhikr, when the mind is present, thinking about none other than Allah, and the tongue is moving, then what is that? That is a lot of reward, and it's a lot of cleanliness of the heart. This is the thing that cleans the heart. The mind has to be present. Now, brothers, I'm going to ask you, sisters, I'm going to ask you, we spend a lot of time on our phones, on social media, we spend it in, on the TVs, on the pads, on, God knows what, okay? People are spending a lot of time in these things, okay? Chit-chatting and so on. Dhikr is a very, very important thing. No believer should have a day without a lot of dhikr in their lives. Otherwise, what will happen is, you will get clogged up. If you have dhikr, then you declog the thing. So, I want you to engage with me in dhikr right now. We're going to do a bit of dhikr before the salah, before the adhan takes place, okay? I want you to do a bit of dhikr with me, and with that, inshallah, I want you to feel something, okay? So I'm going to ask everyone to join in, inshallah, okay? I'm going to ask everyone to join in, inshallah. It's not bid'ah because this is a one-off. If it's a one-off, it's not bid'ah, so don't worry about it. I want everyone to join in, okay? لا إله إلا الله 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 لا إله إلا الله. Brothers, if you join in, if you say a bit louder, if you say it, inshallah, you'll feel the benefit of this. Okay, this is a one-off. There's nothing wrong in saying this. Okay, I'm not starting as a big thing here. Okay, tomorrow where we're gonna start, doing certain funny stuff. All right, this is one-off just to get you to understand what dhikr is. Everyone join in. 1, 2, 3. لا إله إلا الله 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 لا إله إلا الله. Now, my brothers, this is dhikr where if you concentrate and you just think about Allah only, what will happen is your heart will get declogged. Okay? There are many forms of dhikr, many forms of dhikr. Just taking Allah's name. Ya Allah, 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 Ya Allah. My brothers, sisters as well included, if you spend time on social media and you don't realize how many minutes have gone by, YouTube clip after YouTube clip after YouTube clip, Facebook clip after Facebook clip after, and 45 minutes gone, 1 hour gone, you didn't even realize where it went. Okay, why? Because you're enjoying it so much. If you start doing dhikr and you start to enjoy it, then you won't realize where the time has gone. And you will be connected with Allah. You've got the dunya, you've got the akhirah. Allah will give you the dunya, Allah will give you the akhirah. You got no worries, inshallah, no worries. Because the day you die is going to be the best day. The day you go back to Allah is going to be your favorite day of your whole life, the most memorable day of your whole life. When you go to the akhirah, you'll feel at home because you always remember Allah. Okay? If you remember the dunya, if you remember all these things and you forget Allah, then the day you get to the akhirah, it's like you've ended up in prison. You've ended up in a place you never wanted to be. You've ended up somewhere where there's nobody who wants to look after you. Nobody that you know. Okay? That's why we want to engage in dhikr in a way that we love it. Okay? Ya Allah, 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 Ya Allah. Same thing with Quran. When you recite Quran, you can do this. You can say Alif Lam Mim ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. You can read like that. Or you can do this. You can enjoy it, you can put your emphasis in it, and you can put your mind there, and you can put your heart there, and you're reading only to Allah. This is dhikr. Alif Lam Mim ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. Put your mind there, put your heart there, put all of it. Alhamdulillah, it's beautiful. You can be in salah, and you can do salah without dhikr, and you can do salah with dhikr. Without dhikr, it won't declog your heart. Every day when you do salah, if you do with dhikr, then it will declog the whole thing. Okay, so for example, some people, they pray their salah, they don't even think about this. It's like, yallah, I'm going to finish this as quick as I can. They got no collection of how, some people, la hawla wa la quwwata, they want to just finish in one breath. One breath Fatiha, one breath is the boom, 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 boom. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin arrahman arrahim maliki yawmiddin iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in ihdinas siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. One breath. They don't care. They want to go boom, boom. I look at some people, they pray, I think, Ya Allah, how did you recite that in that? And how did you do that? I remember I had this relative of mine, she's related to me, okay? So she did her ruku, okay? I'm going to do a demonstration. She did her ruku, okay? She went like this. She went like this. I looked at her. After salah, I said to her, listen, I said, how many times did you read Subhana Rabbiyal Azim in your ruku? She said 3. I said, seriously? She said, yeah, 3. I said, you can't do it 3. She said, I did 3. I said, okay, no problem. So next time I recorded it. Not because I'm spying on her, I recorded it. And then she went saying, like that. And then I called her over. I said, look at this video. I said, I want you, while you watch yourself going to ruku in the video, I want you to say Subhana Rabbil Azim 3 times. So she saw herself doing this. She goes, ah. Because she realized, this is how you do it 3 times. You basically finish your surah, you say, Subhana Rabbil Azim, Subhana Rabbil Azim, Subhana Rabbil Azim. That's wrong, my friend. You did 2 outside, 1 just about inside. That's wrong. Okay? If you pray your salah, I've got about 2 minutes if I understand that. If you pray your salah in a way that dhikr, that is different. Because you're going to ruku, you're going to sujood. And when you go to sujood, you don't want to get up. The people in sujood who don't have the hearts there, who don't have the dhikr there, they just want to say Subhanallah, 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 Allah, Allah, Subhanallah, 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 Allah. That's what they want to do. And the people who have the heart there, they will say, Subhana Rabbiyal A'la, 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 Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. So beautiful, so wonderful is my Lord, the one who is the most high. I'm in sujood, I'm low, my Allah is the highest. I say, Subhan Rabbil A'la. Every part of salah, they want to do it nicely because they're doing with dhikr. Do you understand? That, all those things, salah, tilawah, tasbih, okay? Anything where you remember Allah with your mind present, inshallah, it will start to change the heart. Then the love of the world will go. The love of being here for a long time without connection with Allah will go. The love of sins will go. The love of wealth will go. You'll touch wealth, but the love will go. The love will go. And that's the whole point. Anyway, my brothers, I will continue, if you want me to continue, inshallah, after Asr Salah, inshallah, the adhan will be done now, inshallah, and we'll pray very soon. Inshallah, I'll speak to you after Asr.